Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. So according to Fabrizo Romano, he has said that Manchester United have agreed a deal to sign Donny van de Beek from Ajax. Donny van de Beek has agreed personal terms with Manchester United. He has agreed a 5-year contract with the football club, and a fee of around £40 million has been agreed. I think there's also add-ons included. Donny van de Beek is set to undergo his medical with Manchester United very, very soon. This is very, very good news from a Manchester United perspective, because I think, Donny van de Beek will dramatically improve us. Obviously we'll have to decide on his shirt number. There's quite a few shirt numbers he could take. Obviously, the number 7's available, the number 11's available. He could even wear the number 8. Possibly even could wear the number 6. But Donny van de Beek is our first signing in this summer transfer window, and he is our 5th permanent signing under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. I think a lot of Manchester United fans are surprised about this news. Now, don't forget, recently, Donny van de Beek was left out of Ajax's squad for their pre-season game against Frankfurt. He actually refused to play for that game. And he actually told Mark Overmars, and he told Edwin van der Sar that he will not be playing for the club again. Edwin van der Sar did say earlier on this year that Donny van de Beek would be allowed to leave Ajax, but only for a suitable fee. Erik ten Hag, who is currently their head coach, he also said that Donny van de Beek's likely to leave Ajax in this summer transfer window. But he did recently say that Donny van de Beek does want to make a move to the Premier League. Now, obviously, Barcelona were interested in him. Also, too, Real Madrid were interested in him. And it also said that Tottenham had made a late approach for the player. It said earlier on this year that allegedly Real Madrid had agreed to get Donny van de Beek for around £47 million. Now, Donny van de Beek, obviously, was at Ajax for several years. He joined their youth setup in 2008. He was in their youth setup for around 7 years. Made his senior debut in 2015. And obviously, since he broke into their senior squad, Donny van de Beek scored 41 goals in 175 appearances in all competitions. Did still have a contract with Ajax until 2022. In the 2018-19 season, Ajax did progress to the Champions League semi-finals, and Donny van de Beek was key to that happening. Also, in the 2018-19 season, Ajax won the domestic double. But Donny van de Beek for Ajax was predominantly a number 6, and he is only the age of 23, so still very, very young, and he has got a lot of development in him. I think he'll exceed expectations in the Premier League, and I think he'll do well alongside the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba in our midfield. And I actually I've let quite a few of their players go in recent years. Donny van de Beek's now leaving them. Hakim Ziyech left them back in February. He went to Chelsea. I think they lost Frankie de Jong last summer. He went to Barcelona. And they also lost Matthijs de Ligt. He went to Juventus. But I think we're getting Donny van de Beek because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So you've got to give Solskjaer a lot of credit, because actually, Solskjaer convinced him that, a move to Old Trafford would be the best thing in his career. But now, I think it's going to give Manchester United a lot of confidence in this summer transfer window. Donny van de Beek obviously isn't enough. Obviously, we need more than him. I think now we are looking to get a right winger in, we're looking to get a centre-half in, and we're also looking to get a striker in. But Donny van de Beek, much cheaper solution than Jack Grealish, isn't it? Much cheaper solution, because obviously Aston Villa have said that, they want around 75 million for Jack Grealish. I think the next player we'll be looking to sign is probably Jadon Sancho, because obviously he still remains on our agenda, and we've been in for Jadon Sancho for a long time. Jadon Sancho's obviously our number one priority target. Gareth Southgate's been recently talking about Jadon Sancho, and he says he's impressed the way that he's handled the speculation regarding him. Jadon Sancho does actually still wants to come to Manchester United, but he's not forcing a move. Now, throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, like I've said before, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block. Because Borussia Dortmund have said, they want around £108 million. We have not been determined to meet their valuation. I think it did say we was only willing to pay like 60 or 70 million pounds up front. Now, Dortmund did recently play two friendlies, they drew with Paderborn 1-1, Sancho played 72 minutes of that, and they lost to Bochum 3-1. Now, don't forget we did miss out on the deadline to sign Sancho, because Dortmund said that, we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. Obviously, we didn't meet their deadline, so Sancho decided to go on pre-season. Now, around 3 or 4 weeks ago, it was looking very, very imminent that Manchester United were going to be signing Sancho, because Fabrizo Romano came out and he said that Sancho's agreed personal terms with Man United, and he said he had agreed a 5-year contract with a football club worth around 340 grand a week. But just after that, he said that talks have broken down between United and Dortmund due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. But I do want Sancho at Manchester United, and I've already outlined the reasons why I want him at Man United. Is because he's a right winner, and Man United want a right winner. He's also got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford, and I think if he comes to the Premier League, he will exceed expectations. I think Sancho's enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund only paid £8 million in from Man City back in 2017. So Dortmund got him for next to nothing. But analyse his performances in the few years he's been with Dortmund, his valuation has persistently grown. Sancho had to leave Manchester City because obviously he didn't get assured any first team opportunities. Before he was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14, so he was there for several years. But you had Borussia Dortmund's CEO, sporting director, another one of their directors saying that Sancho is staying at Borussia Dortmund and the decision is final. Now, recently we have been looking at a lot of alternatives to Sancho. Because I will admit, these much cheaper solutions than him. We've been looking at the likes of Douglas Costa from Juventus, Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, David Brooks from Bournemouth, Rabbi Matondo from Schalke. But don't forget, we already made a promise to Sancho that we was willing to offer him the number 7. Like I said to you, we've got number 7 vacant at the moment. So yeah, we'll want to try and sign Sancho now. If we do, he'll be our second signing in this summer transfer window. But Solskjaer did say, didn't he? He wants Manchester United to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. He's obviously looking to improve the squad. But I'm just relieved that we are getting our first signing on the board, because the summer transfer window's been open now, is it, for over 5 weeks, and obviously there's teams around us that are recruiting very, very well. Like I said so many times recently, Chelsea, they've done very, very good business so far. Obviously they got they brought the likes of Hakim Ziyech in, and Timo Werner, and Ben Chilwell. They also recently brought Malang Sarr in. They brought Thiago Silva in. I heard that Chelsea are closing in now on Kai Havertz. You've got Liverpool, they recently signed Tsimikas from Olympiacos. They're trying to get Thiago now on the board. Man City, they've made some good signings so far. They've recently got Ferran Torres from Valencia. And they also got Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. Arsenal, they recently signed Gabriel Magalhaes, they got Willian on a free. Tottenham, they recently got Doherty, Holberg and Joe Hart on a free. So these teams that are recruiting very, very well. But it took us a long time, to get our first signing on the board. And did say to you, didn't I, prior to this news regarding Donny van de Beek, that Manchester United were losing patience with the board. Because I said to you, didn't I, being very, very critical of Woodward and the Glazers for several years. But obviously there's main explanations behind that, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been for several years. And obviously, we've overpaid for players in recent years. We paid like 80 million for Harry Maguire, 89 million for Pogba, 75 million for Lukaku, 52 million for Fred, 40 million pounds for Nemanja Matic. Woodward has been at the football club since 2012. 2020 now, so he's been Man United around 8 years. The Glazers have been with us since 2005, so the Glazers have been with us around 15 years. But don't forget, Ed Woodward did assure that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe, even when we went through that bad period at the beginning of last season, when we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And he said several times that he's determined to back Solskjaer. The Glazers said they're also willing to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I did say, didn't I, maybe Solskjaer does need help. I said maybe we do need a director of football, to join Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's structure. I said if we was to get a director of football, then, we need someone with the right philosophy, someone who knows the club inside out, and someone who, of course, has got that experience. But obviously, it wasn't Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fault, it took us such a long time to get, our first signing on the board. Because Solskjaer obviously, publicly admitted that Man United have obviously got to spend money in this summer transfer window. I think Solskjaer is actually, progressing as Manchester United manager. But this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's fourth transfer window as Man United manager. Obviously, Solskjaer has spent a good 260 odd million pounds now in total. Obviously, when Donny van de Beek is official. Obviously, so far as it stands, he's made 4 permanent signings. Obviously, last summer brought Daniel James, Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January, of course, he bought Bruno Fernandes and he brought Odion Ighalo in on loan. Just after lockdown, we extended Odion Ighalo's loan until January 2021. Obviously, we brought Ighalo on deadline day as a cover up to Rashford, because at the time we brought Ighalo when Marcus Rashford was out with that back injury, wasn't there? Obviously, we brought a few academy players in, which is very, very good news. We recently brought Marc Joado in from Barcelona and Alvaro Fernandez from Real Madrid. Not so long ago, we brought Isaac Hansen-Arendt in. He's another young one. Joe Hugel from Sunderland. And we also brought Filip Stevanovic in for around €12 million, which equates to just over 10 million in pounds sterling. But he will be officially joining Man United in the summer of 2021, because it's confirmed he will remain on loan with Partizan Belgrade for this season. But like I said to you, everything has been going wrong for Manchester United up until this point. Like I said, we had obviously the incident with Harry Maguire recently. We know that Harry Maguire is going to keep the captain's armband at Manchester United. Obviously, this season is going to be Harry Maguire's second season at the football club, and there's aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Last season was obviously Harry Maguire's first season at the football club. We got Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million last summer. That's how much we paid for him from Leicester. So he's the second most expensive sign at the club and the most expensive centre-half in the world. Harry Maguire recently gave his first interview since his arrest in Greece, saying that he feared for his life during his arrest in Greece and thought he was being kidnapped. We know that he recently got a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days, and he was found guilty of attempted bribery, repeated bodily harm, violence against public employers, and there was also something else. But that's all done with now anyway. If he doesn't perform to his best this season, then I think we need to take the captaincy of Harry Maguire. Obviously, we've got Williams injured. Like I said, Wan-Bissaka's going to miss the start of pre-season training. That's what it said recently. Because obviously, he recently travelled to Dubai and he's got to quarantine for 14 days. Recently, Pogba got tested positive for coronavirus. And I hope all the best for Paul Pogba and his family because, this coronavirus is, serious. Like I said to you, the vast majority of people get it mild, but there's a minority that will get it severe. I just want Manchester United to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club. Obviously, to end the uncertainty over his future, because Paul Pogba has had a long-running transfer saga, hasn't he? As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, was it last week? He said that Paul Pogba's staying at Manchester United this summer, and he said he will hold talks over a new contract. He did say a few weeks before the end of last season that Pogba was close to signing a 5-year deal with Man United, and Fabrizo Romano said that Paul Pogba's happy at Man United, and he said he wants to stay at Man United. But as it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. He recently celebrated his 4-year anniversary at the club. I thought towards the end of last season, Pogba was exceptional. I thought his combination with Bruno Fernandes was very, very good. And I thought during some of our Europa League games, he did very, very well. For the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on Paul Pogba because he was out with that ankle injury. Pogba's sustained a few injuries as a Man United player. So there you go. Rashford, he recently got an ankle injury as well. So now reflects on that, he's a doubt for England's games against Iceland and Denmark. Don't forget last season Rashford had a back injury for Man United, and he was out with this back injury for a few months. I think Solskjaer needs to put Dean Henderson as number 1 this season. Some Man United fans think, Solskjaer's just going to stick with David De Gea as number 1, but I think Dean Henderson is now reliable enough to become our number 1 goalkeeper. I think Dean Henderson's now got that experience behind him. He did recently endure 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, and he was Sheffield United's player of the season. Dean Henderson's been part of the club for several years because obviously, we got him at the age of 14. We had the good news regarding Dean Henderson recently because he signed a 5-year contract with Manchester United with around 120 grand a week. Also an option of a further year. So in total, it is a 6-year deal. It was only last year that Dean Henderson had signed a new deal worth around £60,000 a week. But Solskjaer did recently say that Dean Henderson is not yet ready to become Man United's number 1 goalkeeper. But obviously, it's De Gea that's been our number 1 goalkeeper for several years. This season will be David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. So he's been a long servant. He's endured 9 years at the club. We got De Gea in 2011 from Atletico Madrid. We paid £18.5 million for David De Gea from Atletico Madrid, yeah. And I said if we was to sell him in this summer transfer window, which we won't, but if we was, I think we'd probably get around £60 million for him. I think the guy has had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been at Man United, because in the last couple of years he has been a liability, reflecting on his calamitous mistakes. The guy has made 405 appearances for Man United in all competitions. 300 of those appearances have come in the Premier League. But De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club, and of course he has won individual awards, reflecting on his good performances over the years. But when De Gea does eventually leave Manchester United, I think he will go back to Spain. Now, obviously, we've got to focus on the outgoings in this summer transfer window, as well as the incomings. I think we've probably got to get rid of some players by the time, get rid of some more players by the time we play Crystal Palace. Because quite frankly, there is still deadwood at the football club. We could get rid of up to at least 8 players in this summer transfer window. Obviously, we're looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We're looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're looking to get rid of Chris Smalling. We're looking to get rid of Rojo. We're also looking to get rid of Phil Jones. We're also looking to get rid of Diego Dalot. Bay, I think he'll probably stay. There again, there's a possible chance he could go. Lindelof, slight chance he could go, but I can't see him going. I think he, will remain at Man United for this season. Obviously, Sergio Romano is open to leaving the football club. It said the other week that Everton, Chelsea and Leeds were interested in him. Romero's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Obviously, last season played all our League Cup games. I think all our League Cup games, yes he did. I think played all our Europa League games prior to the semi-final and played all our FA Cup games prior to the semi-final. Don't forget, he did reach to say that we could actually offer Romero and Dalot to Aston Villa as part of a deal of us obviously getting Jack Grealish. It said we'd offered both of them on loan to Aston Villa, yeah. But we sell players in this summer transfer window, will generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. But like I said, not long now until the season starts. Like I said, we have got Crystal Palace on the opening day. That's a game Manchester United should win. We've got Brighton after Crystal Palace, another game we should win. But within our first 7 games, we've got Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham. Tottenham's the 3rd game of the season. And obviously, we've got Everton within our first 7 games. So yeah, not the easiest of starts. So it's very imperative that we do have a strong start to this season. Because this season is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's. This is going to be Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 2nd full season at the football club. And this is the test for him, because Solskjaer knows this season he's going to have bigger expectations to exceed. Our expectations this season will be probably to challenge for the title. That's if we make the right signings and we get, And I think another one of the expectations will be to challenge, will be to win a trophy, because we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under Solskjaer, and we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years, and that's the first time this has happened in 31 years. But last season was obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season at the club, and analysing it, I thought he did quite well. He did exceed most expectations. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us 3rd, and we also progressed to 3 semi-finals. We got to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final and the EFL Cup semi-final. But I think now Solskjaer's been at Manchester United around 20 months, something like that anyway. So he's nearly been at the club now 2 years. And, he's learned quite a lot of Solskjaer, since he's come in. I think now he knows his best 11. He also knows his best formation. I've definitely seen improvements under him. I think the players, there's a lot of players that have improved under him. Rashford's improved under him. Martial's flourishing under him. Fred's improved under him. McTominay's improved under him. Matic has improved under him. Luke Shaw's definitely improved under him. So yeah. We've seen an upturn in form since January, because don't forget we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. We did go on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea had beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final, But we have been in our best vein of form since obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager. Don't forget Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was the interim manager for 3 months, but it reflects on what he did. Obviously, he got the job permanently in March of last year. Definitely got to say our recruitment's improved under Solskjaer. That's another good thing. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into Manchester United. We've seen a hell of a lot of players leave since he come in. We've seen the likes of Sanchez, Angel Gomez, Lukaku, Herrera, Fellaini, Darmian, Valencia, Ashley Young all leave the football club. Also, we've loaned a few players out. We recently loaned Tahith Chong out. I think we've loaned James Garner out and Dylan Levitt out, or we're going to loan them out. Joe Pereira, I think he's been loaned out again. Kovar, he's been loaned out. So, yeah, definitely positive to take from his tenure. And I think, more or less, Solskjaer's giving everybody their chances to express themselves, including the young players. Because he said, Solskjaer, when he first got appointed in as Man United manager, that everybody would get their chances. But the way he promoted the youth last season, I thought, was absolutely fantastic. But we've got a lot of good young players coming through. The recent youngsters to get promoted into the senior squad were Ethan Laird and Ethan Galbraith. I also got to say the fitness levels have improved. But there's still improvements needed at Man United. I still think these certain players that have got to step up to the plate. Harry Maguire's got to improve. Lindelof's got to improve. Bay's got to improve his fitness levels. Luke Shaw's obviously got to improve his fitness levels. Very good left back, but just injury prone. Maybe there's aspects of Rashford's game that's got to improve. De Gea's obviously got to improve. Solskjaer definitely needs to improve his decision making a bit more, because there was a lot of games last season where he was very tactically naive. But on the other side of things, there were some games where he showed tactical flexibility. But like I said, I don't know if Solskjaer's the right man. This season will tell the story. It really, really will. Because it is a transition period for Man United, and it has been a transition period for a while. Like I said to you before, Solskjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth £700 million. Obviously disregarding who he's brought in. In the last 7 years, we spent £900 million on players. Obviously, under the Moyes era, we spent between 67 million on 2 players. Obviously, Moyes brought Juan Mata and Marion Fellaini in. Moyes didn't last long at the football club. He got sacked after 8 and 9 months. Louis van Gaal, he spent over £200 million, and he brought 16 players into the club. He brought the likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Falcao, Memphis Depay, Rojo, Darmian, Martial, Shaw, Herrera, Romero, Di Maria. Van Gaal brought a lot of players in. Van Gaal enjoyed 2 years at Man United, didn't he? We did win the FA Cup under his guidance. And Mourinho, he spent around 400 million, or was it just under 400 million pounds on 11 players. Actually, the vast majority of his team is now Jose Mourinho's. Jose Mourinho did enjoy 2.5 years at Man United. The main explanation why he got sacked is because obviously, he had bad disputes with the board. The board weren't backing the signings that I wanted to recommend in, because Mourinho made it clear in in the summer of 2018, that he wanted to recommend the centre half in, and Mourinho never got that centre half in. He also had bad disputes with the top players at the club. Yeah, so this is why it didn't work out. But Mourinho did win the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season at Manchester United. So Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Alex Ferguson era. We have made mistakes in the last 7 years, and that's one of the main explanations why we've been so inconsistent. Like I said, it's going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to replicate Ferguson's legacy or to last as long as Alex Ferguson did. But, we shall see. But I want us to win a title under Solskjaer. I really, really do, because we obviously haven't won the Premier League since 2013. Last time won it was in Ferguson's last season. But, as it stands at this present time, we are the most successful team in Premier League history, because we have won 20 titles, and, 13 of them are Premier League titles and that. So, yeah. Recently, I give you the news on Lionel Messi from Barcelona. He's not going to come to Man United. I think he's probably going to go to City, to be honest with you. The news on, the players we're linked with, Sergio Religion, if I pronounce his name right. He's a left back for Real Madrid. It says we've recently been interested in him. So let's see. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.